businesses. So I don't see a downside to this option, and it's an option to consider, especially if you're getting decent traffic still. You know, creating one site for Google, creating one site for Yahoo and Bing. Okay, so we're getting to the end here. We'll go over some winning solutions. You know, the top winning solution, and it's whether you want to get back in Google's good graces or not, whether Google goes away tomorrow and there's no Google, or whether Google gets 90% of the market share in search, you got to diversify your traffic sources. If you diversified your traffic sources a year ago and you got hit by this Google Penguin update, you wouldn't be feeling nearly as much pain as you might be if you depended solely on Google for 100% of your traffic. You know, you can't count on Google, you can't count on Yahoo, you can't count on Bing, you can't count on Facebook, you can't count on Twitter, you can't count on any one source of traffic, because these are all companies. They don't have to rank your site. They don't have to send business to your site. You know, and if they change their business model, if they go out of business, whatever it is, you don't want to be completely tied to them. So you've got to diversify your traffic sources. You know, by doing that, you're also going to improve your rankings in Google, because again, we're coming back to the point where you're promoting your site like a business. You know, a business is going to diversify their traffic. They're going to advertise in multiple places. You know, that's what you need to do. You know, as an extension of this, you need to take advantage of social media. Social media is big. You can drive a lot of traffic from social media. You can drive a lot of targeted traffic from social media. You know, you can generate buzz from social media, and the search engines are picking up social media signatures for their rankings. If you're not found on social media moving forward, you know, you're going to end up suffering long term as a business. You've got to be involved in social media. So that's, you know, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, you know, and then these other sites, the StumbleUpon, the Pinterest. Pinterest is big. You know, all these sites, they all contribute, and it's important to have a broad footprint. Next, you got to take care of your on-site optimization, and that's something we haven't really talked about in this webinar, but it's really, really important. Even though Penguin didn't penalize sites for on-site issues, you know, it's still making it much, much more important, because what they're essentially doing is they're taking away the anchor text that you're building, and they're saying, hey, we're going to decide how your site's going to rank. And eventually, long term, where I see this going is anchor text isn't even going to matter anymore. You know, they're going to read what the page is about. They're going to read the context, what your link is in, and they're going to have an algorithm written that's going to decide, hey, here's what kind of value we want to assign this link, what it means, what, you know, and so forth. And the way they're going to find that value is they're going to look at the context of the links used in, but they're also going to look at your web page, so your meta tags, your on-site stuff, how quickly your site loads. That's a big deal. You know, you should be optimizing your site to load as quickly as possible. Your URL structure, you know, you want to have nice short URLs. You don't want to have keyword stuffed URLs. Again, in the content, you don't want to have keyword stuffed content. You know, I like to use a keyword phrase, you know, at the beginning of my content, at the end of the content, and if it works its way in elsewhere, you know, that's great. You know, but you know, you want to pay attention to your on-site stuff. And again, you can go to our SEO Tackle Box blog, and we write a lot about on-site content and how you can improve yours, if you want to check that out. All right, write compelling content, good quality content. You've got to have it. If it's not good quality, people aren't going to come to your site. They're not going to stay on your site. They're not going to return to your site. They're not going to bookmark your site. And all of those are signals that Google is picking up on. So you've got to write compelling content that makes people want to stay on your site and read what you have to say. Target long-tail keywords. That goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You know, if you target the long-tail keywords and you get traffic from long-tail keywords, that's going to be, it's almost like diversifying your traffic sources, because you're not going to rely on one single keyword, your main money keyword, to bring all your traffic. You know, if you've got 1,000 keywords that you build up over time that are sending you a few visitors a day, as opposed to 2 keywords that are sending you the same amount of visitors. Well, if those 2 keywords get knocked out, and for some reason, whatever it happens to be, more competition, algorithm change, whatever it is, you only need 2 keywords to get knocked out and you lose all your traffic. If you've got thousands of long-tail keywords bringing you in a few visitors at a time, it's well diversified. They're not the extremely competitive keyword phrases that everybody's going after. It's going to take you less to rank for them, and just long term, it's a winning solution. Avoid link spikes. Google is pretty smart. If you're building links and your links go out the first of the month every month, and you've got a link spike, and then you've got no links built for the next month, and then you've got another link spike and no links built, I mean, it's real easy. You can put that on a graph, and you could see a link spike and a link spike and a link spike. And if you could see something visually like that, I'll guarantee you the people at Google have a way to find it and say, hey, this is not natural. I mean, you've got really, really smart people at Google, and it's not just one of them. You've got a whole building full of really, really smart people trying to figure out one particular problem. Hey, how are we going to make our search engine better? That's what they do. And if you think that they can't find that and penalize it, you're wrong. So avoid the link spikes. Create link bait pages. This is something that used to be talked about a lot, and it's something that needs to be talked about more. And it comes back to writing compelling content. Link bait pages are just high quality pages that create a buzz, that make people want to bookmark them, link to them, share them. It can create a social buzz. You could do it with pictures. You don't even have to write anything. Take a picture and have a funny caption, a video, good quality content. I'll write top 10 lists people like, all kinds of stuff. But that's what you want. You want these type of pages on your site, so people come, they're entertained, they share it. Other people come and they're entertained and they share it, and that's going to build your links naturally. And that's the kind of that's the kind of site Google wants to rank well. And again, finally, create something useful and unique. It just comes back to the same thing we've been talking about here. You need good quality content. It needs to be useful, and people need a reason to come to your site. If you take care of the on-site stuff, the off-site stuff, you could work on it by building it like a business, but you've got to take care of the on-site stuff. It's just so important. All right. So, keeping up to date. You can go to our Facebook page. If you've not come to our Facebook page yet, come on, join us. We're going to put a link up to this webinar if you want to listen to it again. I'll post it in the next couple of days on our Facebook page, so if you sign up, you'll see it. And you can visit us on our blog, SEOTackleBox.com/blog. We try to post there as much as possible. We haven't posted much the last couple of weeks. We've been working on our research here, but we'll be back posting again with lots of tips and advice for everybody. So that's what I have to say today.
We do have one quick question, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Someone said, don't you think using URL variation, it'll be considered as, I can never say that, a canonical issue? Yeah, I got it out by Google.
You could think that, but if you've got links pointing in from pages that you're not building links on, you can't guarantee what those links pointing to your site are saying. You can use redirects, and you can tell Google, hey, I want the www or I want the non-www to be listed, and that's good to do. And like I say, I'll put 301 redirects in my htaccess so that it's all going to the www or all going to not. I mean, I'll even do it if there's links coming into my homepage /index. I'll redirect those back to the main www or the non-www, and that's a good way to do that. But let me just be clear, when I talk about URL links, I'm not particularly talking about the actual, I don't even know how to say it, the actual link going out. I'm talking about the anchor text. So it could be a www.seotacklebox.com as the anchor text, but the link going out, if I'm building it, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the http://SEOTacklebox.com or however I want that site to appear. If other people are linking to you using that, you can't really dictate to them how they're going to link to you. And I think that's a relatively minor issue because it's something that you can control with your on-site optimization. And again, that's something, you know, if you're in the Webmaster Tools, it seems like they've stepped up their reporting in there. So you can go in and you could see the links coming in that are not, you know, that are given errors, and you just go to your htaccess and you redirect those links and keep it nice and clean. And that, you know, that's part of the on-site content. You know, keep your on-site clean. You know, and if you think about it, you know, if you were Google and you want to return the best search results, you want people that are maintaining their sites and that care about their sites to appear in your search results, because those are the people offering the good quality content. If people care enough to go and maintain their htaccess, people care enough to go into their tools and dictate which version of the pages they want Google to display. If people care enough to go in and create their XML sitemaps, if people care enough to do those little things, those are good indicators. They, you know, they may not be powerfully weighted indicators, but I mean, Google's got, I don't know how many indicators they have, hundreds if not thousands of indicators, and I'll guarantee you that these are all part of that. So it's important to maintain your site, and I think that, you know, you can use those types of tools to avoid any kind of mechanical whatever issues.
Can I? There you go.
Yeah, you say it. You say it,
Renee. Two of us that can't say it. And then when you add that canonicalization on it, yeah, I'd never say it right. Oh, and then try to spell it's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, great. So, okay, great. Well, that's you know, that does it here. You know, anybody that wants more information, we'll probably be putting on another webinar in the future. Keep an eye out on your email. You know, and again, I'll be updating my blog much more often than we'll give these webinars. So, you know, check in with us, and we'll share everything we know with you. And thank you, Renee. Thank you for helping out on this. I appreciate it. Again, it's my first webinar, and I do appreciate your help.
Hey, my pleasure. I love this stuff. I learned a lot of good stuff tonight. So thanks, everybody, and I hope to see all of you again